So this time, it's a video about all the ideas that I don't share, because I had the mouth of somebody who was more like an oil spill than a carefully choreographed oil retrieval system. So I have to say that these companies and people who aren't contacting me, who haven't contacted me, who only rely on the bastard's interlayers, his relayers rather, not interlayers, his relayers, they're doing a disservice to this whole nation and to this whole world, because there's some ideas that are genius that I'm not going to share again. Because here's the thing, my biggest idea of the past has been the Tesla company, and that got made. That fucking got made. And I got nothing of it. I tried to bill Elon, he does not respond. By the way, he's a fraud if he considers himself one of the founders, because it was founded twice. It was founded as the Tesla company in 2013, but even then, this would be about 2011, 2012, when the idea first occurred. Does that mean they're all frauds? It means they kept me, the guy who actually founded it as it is now, out of the founder's chair. And frankly, a boardroom chair would be an appropriate gift at this point. I've helped out with the Solar City idea as well. I've helped out with batteries. I came up with that on my own. For them to become a complex interconnection of a company that provides for you electricity basically in different forms. There's one Tesla invention right now that Apple would kill for exclusivity of, and I'm not sharing that because it's gonna get stolen like my other ideas that get stolen from my hacked phone. I don't think this phone is hacked yet, but I could be wrong. Baby, I love Don't Think Twice, because we live in a kingdom of thieves. Even Swift acknowledged herself as the leader of the thieves, parading her, frankly, crime around in song. It's fucking pathetic. It's piss poor pathetic how, if you're rich, you have so many more rights than the person who's poor. I've also been treated with guilty until proven innocent, which is bullshit. Very un-American, very opposite the Constitution. Alright, so the main reason I wanted to talk now was to say all the good ideas that could be had if the companies would contact me. I can do what I call build-on ideas, where they pay me a set fee in shares, a dollar amount, a smaller one, like $1 million or so, and then they pay for the next idea to have me in the income net revolving with regularity. It's easy for me to create ideas, it's easy for me to change the world at this point. I know that sounds like guffaw, but I'm telling you the truth. Listen to all the videos. It's not, I regard them as the truth, it's the truth. I try to be very careful with even how I say it, so that it's not misproven accidentally in the future. But the Tesla company I came up with on my own, I know that for a fact. I also chose Elon myself. Actually, it was kind of the light that chose Elon. I remember years ago seeing this one webpage of the 3 PayPal founders, and I believe Elon's in the middle of it. I didn't think anything of it before, but like the light sort of was on him. Back then I was making more stuff with the light. There was a brighter light. Now there's God, of course, that's the brightest light. I have to say that few people understand what I've been through, and fewer people would even care, really. I'm pouring my heart out in these videos more and more, and again, it's unfair how my ideas have made people billions in total, in summation, and I get absolutely nothing for it, but possibly a Social Security disability check. That's the silver lining in the human-made story of the greed-run country called America, the capitalist nation, with democracy a shadow of capitalism, not the other way around, because that's not only what I've experienced, that's what most people have experienced. I noticed in jail, for example, 100% of people in jail, the people being jailed, were poor. There was never any rich person there whatsoever, not even for a day. The richest person there had $3 million because of a beating that correctional officers gave him years ago. They broke his ribs and a bunch of other stuff. And I know the guy, he's a kind guy. He would never really do something wrong like that, other than whatever his crime was, obviously. Not the fighting type. Not the type to even throw a punch. Music saves the day sometimes. God saves the day always. Baby. Alright, what else? Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about Netflix. How those sons of bitches did me wrong. So to Netflix I've contributed the entire idea of having original content called Netflix Originals. That came out of my mouth first. The prick transferred the idea to Netflix, the business strategy really, to Netflix, and they stuck with it. Years and years later, they still rely on that strategy like it's their damn lifeboat. And what have I gotten out of it? Absolutely fucking nothing. Occasionally I get to choose who gets famous or not. Like when I chose Katy Perry for American Idol, or Chelsea for her own show called Chelsea, which opened the door to David Letterman's own show, which is being worked on right now. I've gotten so many people their position, their thing in life, that this son of a bitch, he knows he's done me so wrong. He absolutely does not allow me in any way to have my own. An example of other people that I've gotten stuff for, Atlanta, Donald Glover Jr. He needed a way to express himself. He was a showrunner in my eyes, but also a writer, etc., etc. He needed something of his own, something really big. Something worthy of a challenge to him, because he usually gets bored. He looks lost recently, but anyway, Atlanta's good for him. My original idea while in jail, with a phone system that tells you, hey, whatever you're saying is going to be, it's recorded and it's probably going to be that somebody's listening to it. I'm paraphrasing, but those 2 points, that it's being recorded, that somebody's listening to it, were the norm. It was the only phone we were allowed to use. 21 cents a minute. Felt like it was in the 90s again. Before cellular access became ubiquitous. Before all these new plans for $50, unlimited everything. So anyway, Netflix, I was going to make it into a haven, one of my sanctuaries for all actors. The idea would be, in exchange for all my contributions, there were more. Like I came up with the phrase, cord cutters. And I identified the trends quite accurately before any economist or any fucknut in the world even noticed it. So anyway, what I wanted from them was a blank slate, them saying, alright, we'll do 20 movies with you at an average of $50 million apiece. And I wanted to do what I've been doing for Hollywood entirely through myself this time. For Hollywood, this might sound mind-boggling, but I tell you, I am a genius creative. I'm different than other people. I've come up with over 100 ideas between TV shows and movies in total, and some. One of the worst ones was that James Franco movie with, I don't know if Seth was in it, but James Franco and somebody else going to North Korea to fight the dictator. That's one of the worst ideas that I had. One of the best ideas I had. There's a lot of those I could talk about. Hunger Games, I'm responsible for it being a part 1, part 2, instead of it just being one movie. I made them an extra $half to $750 million simply by doing that. Power Rangers, that's another thing I did for Lionsgate. I came up with the idea of Power Rangers. Look, superheroes are really big. these old superheroes would do well. I provided some style direction, some other direction, selected Elizabeth Banks. I don't know if I chose Bryan Cranston or not to be Zordon. That was a while ago, so that one I'm a little bit foggy on. But the rest I've said is true. So maybe let's end this video by saying the world owes me one, man. The world owes me one. The entire reason I was doing movie ideas to begin with was because I was uncomfortable. I was not yet confident enough with my own talents as an actor, even though I practiced every day. Oh, man. I'm getting used to this tired body, but I'm getting it more energetic. So I started coming up with movie ideas. The first thing became, hey, if I could write a movie that I star in, I can literally make that part of the demand. Hey, if you want to buy this movie, then you have to have me as a star in it. But it became easier to keep coming up with movie after movie after movie after movie. And Hollywood benefited from me significantly. Disney incredibly significantly benefited from me. Even though their lie is so glaringly obvious. A lot of them at Disney that claimed for something, they did not do. They claimed they were creators of different movies. They're not. They might be director, they might be writer, but they're not the creators of those different movies. I levy that I can sue them for fraud, theft of services, theft of idea, and damages, which have been sincerely almost irreparably high. My damages would be irreparable if not for God, the Lord God. So, it's a longer video, but it's worth listening to.